What does the future of technology look like? I think we already have an idea. It looks a lot like today's, only more so. I have a loud voice. It is wireless and wearable. It is personal. It is ubiquitous. It is everywhere, and it is interactive and available whenever we want it. A defining feature of contemporary technology, and so future technology, is the demand it makes upon our attention. Technology is more than ubiquitous. It makes its presence constantly felt. My iPhone, Twitter, that Word document, the program I'm debugging, all vie for my attention. And when I give my attention to these, I have less attention for the things technology might enable. Things like community, self-realization, friends, and family. Sometimes technology's desire for my attention is extreme. This is intentional. You can easily measure the success of a product by the amount of attention we give it, the amount of time we spend with it. The more we use a thing, the more money a business makes from it. And then as technologists and as creators, we want to see people using the products we make. We're excited to try out new ones. We love this stuff. This stuff is awesome. And so I think you might agree that we can measure the success of a product by the amount of attention we give it. But what if technology looked like this? What if future technology looked like this? If it didn't require our attention at all, if it completely got out of the way so that we could refocus on ourselves and on one another? I'd like to propose a vision for the future of technology. One that embraces technology, but which also sets it aside. I don't want to repudiate technology. I want to create it differently and with different priorities. I want the laptop, but I want to keep the laptop closed. The industrial designer Dieter Rams articulates 10 principles of good design, 2 of which are that good design is unobtrusive and good design is as little design as possible. I'd like to translate these and make them principles of technology more broadly. But a verbatim translation doesn't work. Good technology is definitely not as little technology as possible. On the contrary. Let's say instead that good technology requires as little attention as possible. Now, this is obviously a question of design, but it is more than a question of design. A designer may be an expert in user interfaces and user interaction, but the ideal aims for technology that is so well designed, it no longer requires any interaction at all. And we already have products that get out of the way when we use them, that try to be as transparent as possible, that allow us to, say, write and draw rather than interact with our iPad as we're trying to do this. But what does the next step look like? What does technology that requires even less interaction, even less attention look like? If technology is going to accommodate us without requiring interaction, it will have to learn about us. We express our desires and our intentions through our behaviors, speech, and actions in the world. Technology that no longer requires our attention will have to passively observe this activity and in real time infer our wants from it so that it can anticipate our actions and modify our environment accordingly. And then our interaction with technology becomes the actions we are already taking without it, the things we're already doing anyway. Excuse me. Technology to accommodate this already exists. If you'll excuse a slew of buzzwords, things like inconspicuous hardware sensors, then the algorithms needed to identify features of the environment, image and speech recognition, natural language processing, massive data sets that support machine learning, recommendation systems, and intelligent information retrieval. So technology like this exists. Design like this already exists, but nowhere have I seen it explicitly made the ideal. And so the task becomes to articulate and communicate this ideal, an ideal of interaction-free technology, to develop its vocabulary, to curate its examples, and importantly, to understand its risks, such as threats to privacy and the danger of habit and conformity. You get stuck, you get sort of nervous, right? Its risks, such as the danger of habit and conformity. Now, I think that this is a strange idea. It's a difficult idea to embrace. I want to keep technology, but I also want to set it aside. I want it to be in the background. Is this a contradiction? Am I saying, yes, let's embrace technology, let's give it our attention, or no, let's completely set it aside? I think Taoism has a wonderful idea called Wu Wei, which expresses this apparent contradiction very nicely. It means without action or without effort. And the phrase Wei Wu Wei means action without action. And this is exactly the ideal, to interact with technology without interacting with it, to do what we are already doing anyway, but to have technology continue to be effective, but in the background. And this way, we can say yes and no to technology, yes and no, and that's what I really want to say. to be able to keep the laptop, but keep the laptop closed. Let that be the future of technology. Thank you.